to me one night in my dreams. Sorry, sweet, innocent one. I could feel his breath on my face. And the next thing I saw was his limp, ragdoll-like body hanging from the gallows, framed by the jailhouse. I woke with tears streaming down my face. But nothing happened over the summer. And should the ship, the Virginius, eventually reached Canada, it had been blown off course. But it did report the most dead and dying of all ships that passed through Grosse Ile of that horrible year, Black 47. By October, I was a nervous wreck. I wrote threatening to walk out. Spying is exhausting and a year is too long. And not that I could admit it to anybody, but I quite liked the Major. He was kind to me. I wasn't used to kindness. I got word back from Andy. 1 more month, he said, and then you'll be done. Keep up the good work, Mahon Colleen, and we'll be spending Christmas together. Le Gras. Do you hear that? With love, Andy. But by Christmas, everything would have changed for all of us. In the last days of October, there was great commotion in the village. When the house was alive with gossip. Father MacDermott had been in a foul mood during Mass. You could always tell by the way he got up onto the altar. St. Churches is up there now. Same altar, only an older version. But his voice rang out, loud and clear, as his fist hit the pulpit. Johnny Mac quoted to me, word for word.
Major Mahon is worse than Cromwell, and yet he lives, he lives, he lives.
Johnny Mac overheard packing tea on the steps of the church. That man must be immortal if he survives that denunciation. And I know what he meant. It was exactly what the boys needed. Sanction from above. Sure, they'd been messing around all summer. Big talk, and no action, the locals were saying. Father MacDermott, as good as gave his blessing, his absolution. The wrath of God had been waived. The day after the denunciation, we were in the tunnel, and somebody left a message in our hiding place. Now, I never knew who left the messages or who collected my replies. Please report Major Mahon's movements for the coming week. Well, now, I knew Dr. Shanley was coming to dinner at 6 p.m. that evening, so I figured a bit of eavesdropping would come in handy. And sure enough, as I sat crouched between the dining room door and the butler's pantry, I overheard their plans.
A crisis meeting, you say?
Yes, they are threatening to close the poorhouse altogether.
Why, that's insane. There are more destitute now than there have been since this damn blight began in 45.
We are both well aware of that, and I, for one, as a member of the Board of Guardians, will not stand for it. I think it would be beneficial if you came along.
Absolutely. You have my full backing. What time tomorrow?
You can travel with me. We leave here at noon. We should be back for dinner by 6. Marty Flanagan will drive us. We'll take the trap.
Noon it is then. I hear only 1,000 took up your immigration plan to Canada.
Close to that. Disappointing. Though it was intended for the most wretched, not so many of them took up the offer. I gave them food rations for the journey. Few of the other landlords did that, you know.
Oh, sometimes people can't see a good escape when it's right in front of them. The poor house holds so few, even so it would be a disaster if it were to close. What will happen to all these wretched souls at all? There's a lot of talk about evictions, Denis.
It frightens those who have the money into paying their overdue rent. I'll never understand why more of them didn't take the ships. Point out to me what is best to be done, and we shall be able to keep them from destitution. They shall get plenty of bread, and I think that by getting on market days some cow heads and some plain joints of mutton, with whatever Mrs. Mahon can send us from Strokestown House, we shall be able to support the poor. The blight can't hit again next year.
I saw 3 bodies just left in the ditch on the way to dinner tonight. Disturbing.
Tomorrow I intend to do everything in my power to ensure that the poorhouse in Roscommon stays open.
Mighty fine brandy.
I suppose you heard that lunatic priest has been denouncing me from the altar again?
Ah, yes, I heard some mutterings. Some say you have close to 3,000 evicted since last January. Could you not talk to John Ross about it?
He's not that easy to talk to.
He still couldn't do it without your sanctioning, surely?
Comparing me to Cromwell, I believe. Mad priest.
Don't worry yourself. He's all fire and brimstone. Lovely dinner again, Major. My compliments to the staff in the kitchen.
Innocent, they said. And innocent I was, I guess. For it wasn't until I heard the shot that it hit me. I know it was at Doherty's Bridge past 4 Mile House, but I swear I heard it. And then the bonfires lit up. Hill after hill. I felt a shiver in my spine and I began to shake. My note. One shot spilt into his brain. Would be coming home from Roscommon, I said, in time for dinner. 2nd of November, 1847. He died there and then, in Dr. Shanley's arms. One shot. Hatred bursting from the barrel of their gun. Six men arrested, 3 men hung. And Andrew Connor, the known ringleader, nowhere to be found. Soon after word got back he had fled to Canada, Montreal. Ironic that. Like a fox, he was always one step ahead of them. So when the Canadian police went to find him, he had already fled. Always expert at getting inside information. And me? I was suspected. Nobody voiced it, but I could see it in their eyes. One night in the tunnels, 3 of them got me. Well, they'll think you did it yourself, lovelorn and heartbroken, they said as they slipped the rope around my neck. All I heard as the last breath choked from my body was the clink of their footsteps
and the fading sound of their laughter.
So though the story is told different, I was the first to hang for his murder, Andy. I was the first to hang. And now I'm trapped here. In the stories of this house, watching and reliving and gathering stories, old and new, to tell again and again. Lots of stories, lots of dignitaries. Like the story of the night I got to meet the Canadian ambassador and the shenanigans in the house. Well, I wonder, Andy Connor, did you ever get to meet a Canadian dignitary?